Hello, accountability buddies. I'm Les, and this is another episode of Less is More Healthy. As you can see, I'm on my way to work, and I'm in the car. Um, I don't know. I don't know why I keep saying that because at this point, if I'm in the car, you know I'm in the car. Why do I point that out? Anyway, it has been a terrifying ride into work this morning. I've watched a lot of people run red lights. Um, like, blatantly run them seconds, like, way longer after the light turned red than was safe. So that was pretty frightening this morning. I saw a bunch of that happening just within my city limits, and I don't really have that many lights between my house and when I'm outside of the city. So that was just kind of terrifying this morning. I also saw someone kind of like just book it across the street in into oncoming traffic, and it was like they just like stepped on the gas and like went total to Wanda moment. And if you get that reference, you're old. um so yeah, it was just really scary this morning, and I'm in a car. I can't imagine if I'd been riding my bike how scared I would be. um yeah, just frightening, totally frightening. um I wanted to like talk about a couple of things today. So I've been pretty successful with my protein shakes in the mornings before I leave for work. Sometimes I'm drinking them in the car as I'm driving, and that's what I'm doing this morning. Um I've been doing Organe Vanilla with a teaspoon or half a teaspoon of pumpkin spice blend from Organics. I don't remember the brand. Any pumpkin spice blend would do. You can mix your own. So I put half a teaspoon of that in there, ice cold water, shook it up. That's been really nice. The other thing I've been adding is like a teaspoon of chia seeds. Um, and the chia seeds have a little bit of protein. They're mostly carb, but they're also a lot of fiber. And they have a sort of jelly coating on them that helps to um, hydrate throughout your system, is what I've read. Don't take that as like perfect science. I'm not really sure how it works, but I do know like a teaspoon of them in my shake does taste pretty good. Um, and historically, I used a Magic Bullet blender. And now I'm just using the Magic Bullet cups and lids with a shaker ball. So I picked up a set of like 5 or 6 shaker balls on Amazon. And those work really well for agitating the protein powder and water together. It does have a slightly less nice texture, but also throwing in a handful of ice has been helpful to it to just like really drop that texture because protein powders, in my experience, don't taste good when they're warm. So I've been like pretty careful about making sure everything is ice cold. Um, so like the shake has just been working really well. I'm not hungry until noon, and I'm making healthier choices. And yeah, overall, it works. So big thumbs up on the protein shakes. The other thing that I wanted to touch on is something I've talked about before, and that's the sensation of like during weight loss as muscles build and um, skin kind of loosens up, and sort of like the fat deposits on my body kind of shrink down a little bit. I feel like I've talked about the fat suit sensation before. Um and I'm back to feeling like fat suit city. Um it's kind of an uncomfortable sensation cuz like right now, so like I've built a bunch of muscle through cycling. Really excited about building muscle through cycling. I feel really good. Um, but there's this like dissonance between how my body feels and how I mentally feel, but also like how my muscles feel. Like my muscles feel great. Um, like recovery has been really good, but the downside is that this loose skin kind of fat suit feeling is bad because it kind of feels like the skin and fat are kind of floating over the top of the muscle, if that makes sense. Um, and it's unpleasant. Um, like I don't even know how to like describe it. It's like it just I feel like I'm in a ill-fitting suit. Um, like when your swimsuit doesn't fit properly and like you just got this like loose lycra all over your body and it's just unpleasant. Um so yeah, that's kind of where I'm feeling physically, and I know like the skin's going to shrink down. The skin that's not damaged with stretch marks is going to shrink down. It just has to catch up because I've lost, and I haven't like again, I'm just gonna say it, weight loss is not my metric for success here. Um, Feeling good, feeling strong, that's my metrics for success. And I haven't actually lost over the last month, I haven't lost a great deal of weight. I've built more muscle. And I can feel that in how like my socks and pants fit. Like some of my pants are tighter around the thighs and calves than they were a month ago. And this is definitely where I want to be. Um and also it's also an unpleasant situation to be in. And I think this is like a place where fitness instructors and fitness influencers who've never been fat miss the mark because they don't understand that for some of us, like this muscle gain period and weight loss period can be unpleasant and not a total win. Like there's an unpleasant amount of feeling to the change in my body. And yeah, overall, like I feel good and this is pleasant and I'm happy with my progress and everything, but also my skin's uncomfortable. And my skin, like, if I don't strap things down properly, if I don't have the right sports bra, if I'm not wearing spandex that fits, spike shorts that fit properly, skin is moving around and it hurts when skin that's loose jumps up and down and, has additional friction because it is not tight to the body anymore. And I think this is one of the reasons like I joke around and I'm actually pretty serious. I make a joke about it, but I don't want to get fitness advice from anyone who's never been fat. Like, yeah, I will accept nutritional advice from people who are experts in nutrition, but I don't really want to hear from people in terms of fitness and health advice unless they've also been fat or unless they're also working on like how to live with type 2 diabetes because my needs are very different than a gym bro who's spent the last 30 years of his life building muscle in a gym and has never been fat and has never had type 2 diabetes. Like my body needs different things than a an influencer or fitness instructor who's always been thin and has never struggled in terms of like their weight being too high. Um, and like I know that this sort of thing that I'm talking about doesn't really apply to people who've been unable to put on weight. Certainly I've had friends in my life who struggled to gain weight. Like they wanted to gain weight, but they really physically couldn't for health reasons and a whole bunch of other things. So it goes both ways. But like you know, getting fitness advice, uh, both for my bike and just in general for someone who doesn't understand that, like, what a type 2 body needs is different than what a body that doesn't have a chronic illness needs. And so the advice for a long distance cyclist without type 2 diabetes is very different. Telling me to do what a pro does um, is not helpful at all. And I've ranted on that before because a pro cyclist, I don't want to be a pro cyclist. I have no delusions of grandeur that I'm going to be a pro cyclist. I have no interest in being a professional cyclist. I enjoy riding my bike. I don't want to make that professional. Also, I'm 48 years old and my glory days of competing in athleticism are long behind me. And I'm okay with that. It's okay for me to age. I'm comfortable with my age. But besides that rant, like telling me to do what a pro cyclist does, someone who's like able to train 5, 6 hours on their bike, have like a coach that, tells them when, where, and what to do, it isn't realistic. Realistically, like, do I need to take in 100 grams of calories or carbohydrates per ride? I think, no, I'm sorry, it's 100 calories per hour during a ride. That doesn't really apply to me because my body doesn't use glucose in the same way as someone who doesn't have type 2 diabetes. Anyway, I'm getting off track. That is a whole other episode, and I'll touch on that in another episode. But yeah, um, leave a comment if you've ever felt like you're wearing a fat suit, and if your skin has ever been uncomfortable on your body. Anyway, with that, I'm going to say thank you. I'll see you next time. Thank you for all of your support and being here. The thumbs up and likes really mean a lot to me. Thanks and bye.